Well, what's hard about it is their attention span, right? Their attention span is my son. He just wants to play with dinosaurs and Legos and stuff. And you say homework, and he's, I don't like homework, and so he wants to fight it the whole time. He's a smart kid, but I just can't get him to want to do it. And then my daughter, on the other hand, she's fantastic at it. She's just pow 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 knocks it out.
That's cool.
Yeah. But my wife does. I'll be honest, she does most of it. But I like to do what I can. I'll be doing it tonight.
Yeah.
We good? Cool. Yep, we are live now.
All right, everybody, it's Dale Jr. with the Dale Jr. Download. This is the Ask Jr. segment of the show presented by Nationwide. We have our guest, Jeff Gordon here, Mike Davis.
Jeff Gordon is here. Man, I tell you what.
So Jeff's
happy to be here. This is awesome.
Jeff's just got a few minutes where he's got to split out. He's got to go get in the carpool line.
Things we always knew we would say about Jeff Gordon.
He will be there soon. We'll be saying the same thing.
So he's going to be able to stick around for a few minutes, and let's get right to it. Matthew, you got a question lined up already?
Yeah, we got some stuff lined up already. Somebody actually chiming in using Ask Junior long-term business relationships. They wanted to ask a question about your trips to Formula One races and your relationship with team principal Toto Wolff with Mercedes, and what the prospects are of you maybe having a relationship with them.
Yeah. So what drove all that is, well, these folks right here, Axalta. So Axalta, being a global coatings company, they paint. Not only just the F1 Mercedes car, but for Mercedes, the street cars. And so they have a relationship with them where they have a sponsorship where they do about 5 F1 races a year. And obviously I miss Monaco, unfortunately, because we're racing that weekend. But I get to do 2 or 3. So I've done Singapore with them and Mexico City a couple of times, just did Abu Dhabi. And it's cool. There's so much respect for our sport and those competitors in our sport when you go to Formula One, because even though they're at a very high level technically, the people are racers, and so it's cool. I like that. Now Toto, I look up to him because I admire him. He is, there's a few people like Toto that I admire, like a Rick Hendrick, but Toto he's a racer. He can drive himself. He I don't know if he's an engineer by trade, but he understands all the engineering, and he's a really smart business guy. From knowing how to take a company public and things like that. So I love spending time with him and hearing and watching him work and how he runs the team. And of course, if I want to learn, because one day I want to be more involved with Hendrick Motorsports on that side of it. I'm enjoying TV. I'm enjoying traveling, all those things, but I love being partners with Rick Hendrick at Hendrick Motorsports.
Actually, speaking of ownership, Eric Unger wanted to know your guys' relationship. Of course, we're as drivers now, but do you, in the past, do you have any advice for him as a car owner? Because he's a car owner, winning championships here in the Xfinity Series. You've been involved for so long in the car, ownership of a car. Yeah,
well, when I look at racing and ownership, I go, and I look around here, I go, damn. Are you sure? I mean, it's such a tough business. And the job that you and Kelly have done and your group here is pretty phenomenal. I would not be an owner if it weren't for Rick Hendrick. I mean, and being there for such a long time, and the contract that I signed that, helped me be an equity owner. I want to be partners with Rick, in the business. I certainly would never want to go out and do this on my own, or nor would I even be capable of. But, and I know you get asked a lot about taking this to the cup level, and I'm pretty sure I know the answer. Have any desire?
No, not really. I think that, and we're partners too. I mean, I'm partners with my sister, partners with Rick, and this whole thing, and that certainly takes a lot of the stress out of it, a lot of the pressure off of it. Really having to share that responsibility with somebody that you believe in and that knows what's all.
Now, I do want to say real quick on that, because I'm always so interested in what's happening from the business aspect. And I got to say, Jim France and the France family and the involvement that they have right now, Steve Phelps, I'm seeing some momentum of some things. What's happening with the RTA, there's just some cool things that are happening with, and it all got started, I think, talking about Comcast, right, coming in and buying NASCAR. Whether that was ever reality or what was going to happen, but what it's generated is some concerted efforts where people are coming together to try to take the sport to the next level from a business viability standpoint, and that's what I'm excited about. If it could do that, you would see me be far more involved. But right now, if you look at the business model on paper, you're like, no, it doesn't make sense. We're lucky to have racing more as a hobby and do it the level that we do it because of our partners.
Do you know that that's actually one of my observations when we first started with NBC, was that how NBC and Fox are actually working together to promote the sport.
Yeah.
There wasn't a competition or a sense of that. That was the first thing. And the example was they sent him to the Super Bowl to go promote the Daytona 500, which was a Fox race.
Well, I can tell you from the Fox side of things, and I know Sam Flood and some of the folks, at NBC, but I can tell you that it's a constant, circle where we hope that you guys have a great end of the season, and that we can try to figure out how to promote over the off season and keep the momentum going, and how the Daytona 500 kicks off with the ratings and the viewership and attendance, that trickles down through the rest of the season. And if we have a good first half of the season, it rolls into your part of the season.
We're each other's biggest fan.
Yeah, definitely.
This is a question I really wanted to ask, and I'm so glad somebody's out there not asked Junior to ask it. Matthew Jackson wants to know about this speeding ticket that you maybe enlisted Dale to help you out on getting out of.
What?
Yeah, remember when I kind of... So when Dale first signed on with Hendrick Motorsports, and it was official, or maybe it's the day before it was official, I don't know, but Rick told me, and I don't know if he gave me your number, I already had your number, whatever it was, but I was driving to dinner, and I said, I'm going to call him. And I didn't have the hands-free set up in the car, so I just called him. So I'm driving along on the phone, we're talking, I'm congratulating you and welcoming you to the team, and it was cool, you picked up, and we're having this conversation, and all of a sudden I got blue lights in my rear window, and I'm like, uh-oh, I'm getting pulled over. So I wasn't sure if I should stay on the phone with Dale or not, but I said, no, stay on here. I may need you. And luckily I did, because first the guy says to me, you're not supposed to be on the cell phone. And then second, he's like, and you were speeding. And I just said, and I never do this, but I said, this is the moment. I got to pull this off. I said, I know, and I'm sorry. You don't have to be a Dale Earnhardt Jr. fan, are you? And he's like, yeah, why? But what does that have to do with anything? I said, well, I got him on the phone. I was congratulating him on something. And he goes, what? And I just handed the phone off, and you spoke to him for 2 seconds.
So that's how the news broke.
And got me out. And got me out of it.
I mean, I would have at least, made him take me for a steak dinner or something after doing that.
Well, I was just trying to make a great impression on my new teammates.
He made the greatest impression on me.
This guy's the senior authority over there, and so that worked out for me.
It was so funny and random. I don't know if you thought I was screwing with you at the time or what, but it was so crazy.
It was pretty random for sure.
All right, going right into that, being teammates with him for a while, J.D. Mullis wants to know the best. We all have Dale Jr. stories that we like, whether they're on track or off track. What's your favorite Dale Jr. story from your interactions with him?
Well, my best story is when we weren't teammates. I remember you were living across the street from, what did you call, DEI, right? He was living over there, and I guess you would have been in Busch Grand National at that time. And he had a heck of a party, and so I remember that party, and then
Did you come to it?
Oh yeah, I came to it.
Oh, the New Year's Eve party.
It may have been a New Year's Eve party.
The one where you busted your head?
The one in the shop.
No,
behind my house.
Oh, you know what it was? I think you guys went to the shop, and then after you came to the house, your place that you had there, and so I don't know. Somehow I ended up there, and I was like, man, this guy knows how to get after. And then I came to Whiskey River one night, and that was another.
How long ago was that?
Big time. That was a long time ago. Wow. That was a big.
You mean the Whiskey River Western Town?
The Western Town.
Oh, the Western Town.
I've been to Whiskey River.
The Western Town.
I mean, I called that Whiskey River.
It's what it's called, yeah.
And I went there and had a few beverages, quite a few, and I remember I'm like, man, I need to go to the bathroom. Where's the bathroom at?
I know where this is
Oh
going.
yeah, it's right over there by the creek.
The creek is right over there.
There's that outhouse. I walked in and I opened up the outhouse. Luckily, I didn't have more momentum. I would have fell out the other side because it's just open on the back side. I'll never forget that. I'll never forget that.
You take a leak into the creek.
Yeah.
That
As you do.
One more, and I think this says a lot about Dale, you know, and how much you care about sports. When we had some meetings up there at your place with Mike Helton and Jeff Burton and some folks in the sport, and we had some conversations about, you know, things that were going on, what we could do better, what they could do better, and you kind of, you know, you made that happen.
Well, that was before the drivers' council.
Yes.
Helton grabbed a handful of drivers that he, you know, wanted to just have conversation with, and we would have these conversations at certain locations, and one of them would happen to be at the Western Town one time, and so I was excited because Jeff Gordon and Helton and all these guys were going to come to the Western Town, and I said, Amy, I'm going down to Western Town. I'm probably going to be an hour. It's pretty important, you know, Helton, Gordon, all those guys. I'll be back. And I think we was down there for like 6 hours.
Oh, we were there a long time.
After the first hour, and we got into the meat of the content we want to talk about. I mean, this is us talking about, man, should we have double file restarts?
Yeah.
Oh wow, this
Oh,
is
yeah.
a high level
Oh, yeah.
conversation.
Yeah. What should we quit racing back to the flag? You know, we're talking about all kinds of
Wow.
we're making these decisions, not, you know, maybe not making them officially on paper, but we're really discussing them with Helton about some things we could do to. Some things NASCAR had a bunch of great ideas they wanted to run through us, and
These are all the decisions that just him and his dad used to, or just his dad used to have with Bill France Jr. that just
happened.
Made the path of the sport.
Yeah.
Now it took about 8 of us to make this happen.
After about an hour, we started drinking beer out of the beer cooler, and then we ended up sticking around.
I think I started right away.
Amy was so it ended up being like 5-6 hours. She was so mad when I came back up there because I didn't text her like, "Hey man, still down here, everything's good."
I think I kind of had a similar experience because I think I told my wife, "Yeah, I'm just going to go up to Junior's for a couple hours."
That meeting, great for the future of NASCAR, terrible for relationships, terrible for the liver. Right.
All right, Pocono Raceway. They chimed in a few weeks ago, and they just said hi. Finally, they came in and have a question. I like it. They wanted to know, okay, mano y mano, Jeff Gordon versus Dale Earnhardt Jr., Pocono, who would win?
Ooh.
I think Jeff would beat me until the repave.
Oh.
I like the repave. I was good at the repave.
Yeah,
After the
oh,
repave.
listen, I was terrible most repaves. I did like the old Pocono.
Yeah.
I like that place and had a lot of confidence in it. And I don't know, the last couple. It makes me think. You know, when I drove your car at Pocono, and I had that seatbelt damn issue. But Greg set up a nice car. You guys had a nice setup there, and I enjoyed it. But yeah, I guess okay. I'll take me early, you late.
That's a good question. Listen, I got to be honest with you. I'm a little concerned that we're going to get him back in trouble with his wife if he doesn't pick up his kids.
All right.
That would be a problem.
Sitting there.
I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
Let's stick around. We're going to finish up Ask Junior Live here on YouTube. We're going to let Jeff take off. Jeff, thanks for...
Hey man, enjoy it. Thank you
on the
so
show.
much. Appreciate
And
it.
by the
Mike,
way,
thank you.
everybody watching, we had a lot of things that you probably are asking right now on the YouTube.
Yes, yeah.
We addressed them already, and so you'll just need to listen to the podcast because it's a good conversation we've had with Jeff. Thank you, Jeff.
All right,
Thank you,
buddy.
guys. Fun.
Sweet.
All
We're
right.
still live on YouTube.
We'll stay live.
We'll,
Thank you, guys.
alright.
Thank
I'm
you.
out.
John, good to see you, buddy.
Thank you.
Great to see you.
Pleasure.
Thanks a lot.
Thank
Yeah, man. Appreciate it. That's fun.
You got it.
Drive safe, bud.
I
See you,
will.
man.
Thank you.
Awesome to see you, man.
Nice to see you.
You got
Thank you. Thanks.
All right. Good stuff there. We'll keep we'll fire off some more questions.
Yeah,
here.
we'll take
Hey,
some more
wait,
fun,
questions.
dude.
and keep asking Jeff questions. We'll answer them as Jeff Gordon. Go ahead. I'm happy to.
Well, heck, now that Jeff's out of here, Grothouse, who seems to be our favorite food guy, wants to know Christmas and holiday season coming. Honey baked ham on the menu.
I don't know. I've done pretty good this holiday season with not overindulging at the at the table. Holy moly, it's so hard.
I did good at Thanksgiving. Christmas, I'm going full send mode.
Man, I'm gonna have I'm going to I'm gonna have some money back him.
Yeah.
Whatever's there, yeah. I mean, I'm good. I'm good with it.
Chase Matheny, we were just talking to Jeff Gordon. Obviously, he started his career in sprint cars. Have you ever even thought about getting in a sprint car ever?
I mean, I'm curious. You're curious as a driver what all cars drive like, but I don't think I'm ever going to do it. If I ever drive anything outside of running these Xfinity races each year for Junior Motorsports, I would consider doing some sports car racing on kind of a low stress, low expense scale, not like, not going high end, full send. Just going to do some, maybe some of the vintage stuff, or I don't know, just some club racing. That stuff kind of interests me. Going out and running that 24-hour Lemons race.
Oh, yes.
Something like that. Yeah, I mean,
Bottle the Body did that.
I know. Yeah, he just did it. I know Biffle's done it.
Yeah.
Boris said, a couple guys, you just build a car and go with your friends and just race. They don't have to be real drivers. Mike, you can run a couple laps.
Biffle's got that Triple B Ranch
Yeah.
dirt race. Man, I've been up there a few times for that thing, and holy, Kurt Busch
Just had
is
it the
running
other night.
Yeah. Kurt Busch was running one year with a Christmas tree ratchet strap to the top of his car.
Very good.
If you can't have fun doing that, forget about it.
Makes no sense to do that.
I mean, why not have a race with a Christmas tree on your car? Dale, ever get the go karts out of the out of the snow? At Dirty Mo Acres.
Oh, in the snow. Yeah. No, with the go kart thing is long gone. We used to have. So what this is about? Used to have 18 go karts. Used to have 3 tracks, a road course paved, oval paved, and a dirt track. And I grassed over the dirt track, sold all the go karts, got out of the go kart business. The last time I think we ran those, I think Steve Letarte was my crew chief, and we just had gotten so wild. I was thinking, man, we're either going to get hurt, or I'm just going to have to keep rebuilding these go karts because we had to fix about 6 of them after we crashed them all so bad. And so it was getting pretty expensive and dangerous. And we ran go karts out at my house for probably 10 years, 12 years, had a lot of fun, and decided to give it up. But I still have the paved road course and the paved oval, and guys will bring their kids out to that paved oval and let them run their go-karts. So Rodney Childers has brought his kids out there. Brett Bedine's brought his kids out there. Letarte. Jason Burdett, our crew chief here with Justin Algarve. Jason Burdett brought his son out there when he was 3 to run his little go-kart just all day long, just running laps. And so many kids have been out there to sort of get their first laps under their belt before they take them anywhere else or to a race or anything like that. It's just a little oval. It's perfect for like little champ cars or something like that. And so that's a lot of fun to be able to offer that up to my friends.
Junior 3815 says, "Hey Dale, do you have an opinion on the ongoing debate in short track racing on motor options for the late model stock cars? I mean, you're a late model stock car guy. What's the best option you think for the health of the sport?"
Yeah, the cheapest option. I mean, whatever is the cheapest. Let's just go to a nice, cheap option that pretty much brings down the cost of the business, cost of racing. When I raced when I raced late models in 1994, 1995, 96, and 97, I needed roughly around $50,000 to $60,000 to run a full year, and that's buying tires or a set and a half tires every week because you got to have every once in a while you got to buy another set for practicing, paying for the motor, which is 10 to 15 grand, building the car and all that. So now today, to run the same outfit, even less races actually. Today we don't even run that many races. We run maybe 20 races a year. To run 20 races in late model stocks, to buy the same car, engine, tires and all that. We're not doing anything different than we did back in the 90s. It's $150,000, $200,000 to do that over a season. It's ridiculous. So, anything that brings that cost down to make this more affordable just for normal people. I mean, whatever we can do to make that happen is good for me. I'm the owner. I don't want to spend all this kind of money, but I love racing. I want to I want to send cars to the racetrack. I love being an owner, but I don't want to spend this kind of money, and I don't want to have to try to find this kind of money.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember 10 years ago, I had 4 late model teams. 4 late model teams going to the racetrack every weekend. And
Wow, I forgot. That's true.
That's crazy.
We did.
yeah, and there's no,
Yeah.
I mean, that would take $500,000 to do this today. It's crazy. So, I'd love to race more. You know, when I say race more, send more cars to the racetrack. It just has become harder to do as the cost has went up. I mean, the tires, when I was driving mid-90s, were $100 a piece, plus $20 to mount if you didn't want to mount them yourself. So $400 was tire bill. I mean, it's ridiculous now. I don't know what tire. What is the tire now? How many tires for late models? $200 a piece.
Yeah.
Something like
Roughly about that, yes.
Wow.
and it's the same thing. It's the same Hoosier 45 that I was running when I was in the mid-90s. It's the same tire. You know, it's a great tire, but you know, just it's more expensive for some reason.
Brendan Carroll, hey Dale, he says, I screamed when I saw that you're going to be driving the pace truck for the Daytona 500. I'm so excited to see you at New Hampshire next year as well.
New Hampshire, all right. Well, I'll see you there. I am excited about driving the pace truck in the Daytona 500. I mean, this is one of the cool things that I didn't even think about when I retired, is getting the opportunity and getting the request to do these type of things, to be the Grand Marshal at Daytona 500, to drive the pace truck at the Daytona 500, to drive the pace car at the Brickyard. These are just cool perks, I guess, that kind of come along with having having 20 years in the sport and putting in everything you put in. I just bought the new Silverado. I haven't bought a truck, so buying a truck for me is a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't bought a Silverado in 12 years. I have the last truck I bought, 04. And so I saw the new truck. I went to Texas when they unveiled this new truck a year ago. And they brought this truck in on a helicopter and set it down in front of us.
Yeah.
All right? And me and a bunch of other Chevrolet fans were there. And so when I saw that truck with my own eyes, I said, I'm going to buy that truck when it comes out, when it's available. And so it's available. I bought one from my dealership down in Tallahassee. And so I'm excited about it. I'm excited to be a new truck owner. We're going to take that truck, that Silverado, and that's what's going to pace the field. So usually it's a pace car. It's going to be a pace truck. And that's a great way for us to showcase what a great truck it is.
Wait, what? You're taking that truck?
Not my truck.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I will.
Yeah.
I really don't want to because they strap the lights to it and all that. I don't want to do that to my truck. But
Right. Okay.
it will be a Silverado.
A 219 Silverado,
yeah.
for sure.
So if you're into Silverados, they got a real nice one.
All right, Lala chiming in here and wants to know what was Isla's reaction to being in the snow?
You know, she didn't really like it. Isla loves warm weather, warm temperatures. When she was she does it now, but during the warmer temperatures earlier this year, so if she's upset or crying and there seems to be nothing to fix it, if you just walked outside, she quit it immediately. Walk back inside, back to being upset. She just loves warm air, warm temperatures. And so she does not like being outside in the cold or sitting in the snow or anything like that. She when her room temperature gets like 68 or 69 degrees, she's uncomfortable. She'll even wake up out of her sleep. She likes to be around 74 degrees in her room, which is warm, uncomfortable. I don't like that. I like it cold.
Babies love
I
that.
can't sleep if it's over.
Yeah. I gotta be chilly.
Yeah, I gotta be cold. I want to bundle up in there and cuddle. You know what I mean? So, but she don't. She likes it to be hot.
That's why we keep it hot in the studio, by
Yeah.
the way, so you don't cuddle with Mike.
You ain't gotta worry about
It's
that.
working.
Yeah,
It's working.
Mike's grateful.
All right, I want to thank everybody for joining us on Ask Junior Live on YouTube. It was awesome to have everybody, and
It was.
appreciate it.
Yep.
Presented by Nationwide, of course. That's who brings us all to us.
Podcast will be out later this week. It's going to be a good one. Jeff Gordon was here talking about a lot of things. We talked about his history with Dad, history with me. Look forward to showing that to you guys.